Hi guys, so today I'm going to make possibly one of my most favorite meals to make ever, and it's called Arroz Con Pollo. It's my favorite for many reasons. It's delicious, it's very filling, it's affordable, it's authentic, and I just love it. I love everything about it. So everyone's Arroz Con Pollo tastes different, so this is kind of like my take on it. And yeah, so we're gonna get started. Right now I have my chicken here. Half of this chicken is already seasoned, half of it is not. It's pretty much pieces from chicken that I don't use. I don't always use all my chicken at the same time, so you can save your chicken, just Ziploc it, and then put it in the freezer. But half of that chicken is actually seasoned already. It's a little ghetto, I know, but whatever. I have 3 cups of rice. I have a small chopped onion, a can of tomato sauce. I have some Jamaican allspice. I have a packet of sazon, a packet of ham flavor, pepper, adobo, sofrito, vegetable oil, and we're gonna get started. All right, so we're gonna get started seasoning the chicken. So I just sprinkled a little bit of adobo in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of black pepper. Remember, not too much because half of it is already seasoned. A little bit of my my mustard. My whole grain mustard. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of sofrito, not too much. So about a tablespoon. And that's that. And then I'm gonna take the chicken and I'm gonna move that around. I actually, it may seem a little ghetto, but I actually like the fact that the chicken is not, you know, it was 2 different chickens and half of it was seasoned. I like that because the way this dish actually, from what I understand, originated was, it's more of like, I'm not gonna call it a poorer dish, but it's a dish that pretty much you use what you got. So whether that's chicken, whether that's fish, whether it's your can of Vienna sausages, whether it's whatever you have, whether it's just vegetables, whatever it is, you put in there. And I love that. So it's pretty much clean out your refrigerator and put it in your rice. Many cultures use it. We call it arroz con pollo. I know Jamaicans call it spiced rice. And yeah, so that's why it's one of my favorite meals to make. So you season your chicken, get all that coated, and then you're gonna bring it to your pot. All right, so I got my pot heating up. I did coat the pot with a little bit of vegetable oil, just regular, cheap, ShopRite vegetable oil. Nothing fancy, does the trick for me. So I pretty much, I let it heat up, and then I'm gonna take my sofrito. When I throw sofrito in, I like it to sizzle. So by now, the bitch should sizzle. And there you go, she's sizzling. So I take my I put my sofrito in there, just a tablespoon. I'm gonna put some more, my small chopped yellow onion in there. And I'm gonna let that live for a second. Just move it around in the pot. And let the oil get the flavor from the sofrito and the onions. Let the pot get the flavor for a second. And then I throw my chicken in there. I don't even know if I'm going to use all this chicken because it's just really just for my husband. So let me see. I don't know. I'm going to use a leg, piece of a thigh, a wing, a piece of a breast, and a leg. Yeah, I won't use all of it. Another leg. Yeah, I won't use all of it. Okay, so now the chicken is pretty much kind of just cooking a little bit. You don't want to cook it all the way. At this point, just let it live. Let the pot get all the flavor. I'm going to use about a half a can of this tomato paste. maybe 3/4 of it. And move that around. At this point, I'm gonna prepare my rice, which is just wash it. Because once this really gets to a sizzle, that's when I'll add my rice. Go back in there, stop it. I hate when food falls out of your damn pot while you're cooking. So this is already cooking. While this cooks, I also forgot to mention, when you make this, this is a little trick that I've learned after making this for a while. When I initially started making it, I used to buy whole chickens because you like to have the chicken parts, like you like to see a wing in there, you like to see a leg, you like to see, you know, whatever in there. So I would buy a whole chicken and cut it up, and then I would realize that I wouldn't use the whole chicken. So it would either go back in the freezer or, you know, it would just be a bunch of shit that we don't eat. So, and then after I cooked it, the pieces of the chicken that I really didn't love in there was the breast because it was kind of like dry. So I was in the supermarket recently in ShopRite and I realized that I could buy chicken quarters or chicken leg quarters for a hell of a lot cheaper. So if you buy a whole chicken, that shit will run you like $10. The cheapest I've seen it has always been about $8, maybe $7. So this is starting to cook. At this point, I'm going to put a little bit of Jamaican allspice, just a handful of the little allspice pepper berries, and add that flavor to it. And I'm also going to share with you guys, I forgot because I just realized I forgot to mention this chicken. So originally, I would always buy a whole chicken, cut it up, and then throw it in there. But then I realized that, you know, it's just way too much chicken for the dish. And after I cooked it, the chicken breast tended to be like a little dry in there. So, not that I hate breast. I do like chicken breast. I just don't like it when it's chunky. So I found recently, like, if you just get chicken leg quarters, it's so much fucking cheaper. Like a regular chicken, a whole chicken should run you probably like $10 nowadays. The cheapest I ever seen it was maybe $7, maybe $8. And then I bought a whole lot of leg quarters this week for $3. $3 fucking dollars. So I could ideally make this meal with the most juiciest, tender pieces of the chicken for $3 instead of $10. Making this meal, I mean, I don't know, when you add it all up, probably like $5. And it's like an amazing meal. So when you make this, definitely think about just using the leg quarters, because you're going to get the leg and then a thigh. So, or I guess that is a thigh. So like you get the leg and then like the little piece that's attached to the leg. I don't know the actual facts of the chicken, but whatever. Okay, so at this point, it's really sizzling, and when I went to go stir the chicken, it's a little sticking. So I'm gonna go ahead and already add the rice. So just add the rice that's been washed, and you're gonna go ahead and stir it, get all the rice in there. This is the part that annoys me kind of, because some of the rice falls. Look. The sound of that just like really annoys the fuck out of me, but whatever. And then I'm gonna put a 1/4 stick of butter. Just throw it in there. And then at this point, I'm gonna add the water. So usually I would add 1 more cup of water than I would do rice when I'm, well, 1 more cup of water to the cup of rice when I'm just making rice. But because this has already so much liquids and stuff in it, I'm gonna just keep it to, I just put 3 cups of rice in there, so I'm gonna put 3 cups of water. That way it kind of just balances out, because you don't also want this to be too mushy. You want to be able to really enjoy both the rice and the chicken. The idea is to master both. Have a juicy, tender chicken, but also well-cooked rice. All right, so 3 cups of rice, 3 cups of water. Pour your water in there. And now I think to myself, why did I put butter in there? I don't know. I put butter in there every now and then, but I mean, butter makes everything taste like fucking amazing. So why not put butter in it? So I just pour my water in, and now I'm gonna put my packets of sazon. I'm actually using the Goya sazon today because I have it left over. And I'm gonna use the Goya ham concentrate. You know, usually I use the sazon noir, but I'm gonna use the Goya because I have it. And you can't waste it. So you kind of just put those in there and you move it around. And get under there with your spatula. Just make sure that nothing's sticking to the pot, and just whatever's sticking, kind of unstick it for now. And make sure this stays on medium heat. This would be your time to kind of like move it around. Let everything really marinate and coat the rice. And then you're just gonna leave it there until it comes up to a boil. This is also your time to taste the kind of the water of the rice to make sure that, you know, it's seasoned well. Because if you taste it after and it's too late, it's too fucking late. So it's not gonna kill you. Just a light taste to make sure that your seasoning is good. Mine is great. Typically when you use a lot of rice, I say over season it, because when you season, because you're really seasoning the chicken. You don't really use these kind of seasons for rice, but because we're doing them both together, I say over season it, because to remind you, you're using a lot of rice. So your rice is going to absorb a lot of that seasoning. So while it may taste a little salty or a little bit too much for you in the beginning, in the end, it's all going to be great because the rice absorbs a lot. And this is going to inflate. So you'll see that in a minute. Okay, so now my rice is pretty much dry. That was, I can't tell you how much because I've been drinking. And I just got off the phone with my aunt. But that was probably like 20 minutes. Pretty much just still a little bit of liquid, but not too much. So at this point, you're gonna move it around. Get everything around. It's probably the last time you can move it around. And then I like to taste, not taste, but feel the rice, how soft the rice is. It shouldn't be fully done, but it should be almost done. I just tasted it, it's almost done. If it's too soft, you're fucked. Because when you cover this, like I'm about to cover it now, and you put the heat down, it's gonna come out like what we call it mogollao, or what you would call it mushy or too watery. So put the heat on low, cover it, and let it sit there until it completely dries out. And then I'll show you that. All right, so I'm just checking in. I'm opening it. There's not too much water left. We can go ahead, turn it. At this point, I want to taste. This is what it looks like, pretty much. At this point, I want to see what the rice tastes like. The chicken is going to be bomb, I know it. But I want to see what the rice is like. And it's good. Tastes delicious. There's just, it could be cooked just a little bit more. Honestly. Oh yeah. Just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit, not too much, a little bit of water. Because I don't see any water left. So just a little bit. Around, just to moisten it. And just keep it covered. Okay, so I just took my lid off after putting the extra water in there, and I move it around, and you taste it from where you move it around at, just to make sure it's like amazing. And it's pretty good. It's really good actually. Not too soft, not too hard. So ideally you want the perfect rice and the perfect chicken. Being that I know it's been here cooking, the chicken is amazing, I'm pretty sure, but the rice is bomb. So this is how you make this amazing meal. And again, one of my favorite meals and I'm sure you will enjoy this. So, yeah. See you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.